At the end of last year, the team behind the Backbone One controller, probably our favourite cloud and mobile gaming controller, made it even better, and they fixed or added a few things that we really wanted to see in there. But it does come at a cost, and one that I'm not overly keen on. So if you watched our video on this, then you'll know that we really like it. When it comes to cloud gaming or mobile gaming, this thing is an absolute fantastic device. It's ergonomic, it feels great, great controller response, and fits a decent range of iOS devices. It's also got the input there as well for your headphones, for your lightning, and it just has pretty much everything you could possibly need. It is a bit more premium in price, so it retails for around $100 or pounds depending where you are, and it doesn't tend to drop, so that's one thing worthwhile bearing in mind. What we did say that we kind of disliked about this was the lack of compatibility in terms of connecting it to things like an iPad or to just any other device in general. If you're traveling around, it's great for a mobile phone, but that's pretty much it. Until last year when they added some new features to it. We're going to get into that today. So the new features they've added have been expanded through their application. So when you plug this in, it prompts you to download the Backbone controller application. Something that we didn't do, which definitely turns out to be a mistake because of the way they're advertising the new features. But what it does is it now gives you new features on this device. It basically acts as its own like game front, so you can access all of your different cloud gaming subscriptions, you can access all your different games as well, and just puts them all into one handy to use launcher. In that as well, you'll also be able to record video, so up from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second, and that will record at 1080. So if you are into mobile recording, then the application is going to give you that functionality. The biggest standout, however, is the ability within the app to change the output. So basically now, through the lightning port on the bottom here, plug that in here, and as long as you've got a USB Type-C or just a USB that will plug into another device, you can then plug it directly into something like the iPad and use that. You can use something like a Chrome browser, a TV, just basically anything that will be able to do some gaming on it, which makes this a lot more user-friendly in terms of hooking up with multiple devices. So it might not be the nicest looking solution. Obviously you've got this cable here, it doesn't have Bluetooth capabilities. So unlike something like a normal Xbox controller, you don't get that nice kind of wireless connectivity. However, it is always nice to have something that can physically plug in just because it helps to remove some of that latency and input lag. And even though you're plugging in, it's better to have it than not have it at all. So it's a very welcome thing. And I've got to say, I'm really pleased to say that this works extremely well. I've used this setup with my iPad quite a lot, which might seem strange considering I have other controllers that I could use with it, but just the handy ability to use my iPhone in this, and when I want to switch to a bigger screen, especially if I'm on the go, being able to plug this into my iPad makes a massive difference. So here we go, we are loading up The Witcher on GeForce now using this plugged into the iPad, and it works pretty damn seamlessly. If you've used this already, plugged into your iPhone, you'll know what sort of thing to expect, and it works extremely well. So here we are in the game now. As you can see, the controller is working with that, and it is just fantastic to use. It's definitely a welcome addition to have, being able to hook this up to things like a laptop or to a gaming TV or just any device that is going to do some cloud gaming. So again, if you are on the go, you don't just get to play your mobile gaming, you can also play it on a bigger screen if you want to. So definitely a welcome addition there. However, like I said, this comes at a cost, and it's one that I'm really not keen on. So to get the new functionality, so things like the upgraded frames per second in terms of the video recording, and also the ability to hook this up to an external device and not just your iPhone, you need to pay the $49 per year. Now, in my opinion, I absolutely despise any kind of subscription that comes with hardware. This is already a pretty premium device in my opinion in terms of its cost. It costs a lot more than a lot of the other cloud gaming controllers or mobile gaming controllers, and it's just a bit of a hard pill to swallow. Now the good news is if you do buy one of these, you get a year's free subscription to their application, and then at the end of that you don't necessarily lose out too much. You'll still get software updates for this controller. You just won't be able to do things like the increased video quality or things like the external control for this device. One thing that's really frustrating is if you'd already downloaded the application beforehand, before they made this announcement, you'd also get a lifetime subscription to it. However, I never downloaded the app because I don't really see the point in downloading applications for hardware that doesn't really need it. But yeah, more fool me in that case. So honestly, they've done some really good things in terms of bringing that capability to this device. It just really frustrates me that it's part of an add-on. So basically, downloadable content or in-app purchases for hardware, which I absolutely despise. And to be honest, For that reason, I wouldn't recommend the Backbone at all, like full stop. Although it's my favorite controller and it has this added bit on there, I just don't trust what they're going to do next. It would have been a much better move if they'd have just done things like the increased video quality, or they'd really fleshed out their application to make it something that people would want to use, and then maybe have a smaller monthly subscription fee. But $49 for the year is half as much as this controller costs already. It's annoying, especially when it's for something like that, which allows it to work with other devices, which has been a big ask from the community for quite some time. So yeah, really let down by the developers for that. It's great to see them adding that functionality, and I suppose you've got that option there. You're not losing out on anything. They've not locked anything behind a paywall, which is good. They didn't take away features that were currently on this and move them to the application. So that's at least one blessing. But yeah, I just really dislike the idea of paying any kind of fee for hardware that I already own, unless it's going to give me something really powerful in terms of software and get me into an app ecosystem. But yeah, this isn't it. And for that reason, I suggest go for a different controller. But it's worthwhile knowing it does work pretty damned impressively well. If you want to use it with an external device and you're willing to pay that price, then yeah, it's still a fantastic controller for that. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I know when we did the review of this, it was only shortly after that they announced that new subscription model, and a lot of you seem to be really angry about it. You mentioned that in the comments. So let us know your thoughts on it now. Now the dust is settled, do you mind paying a subscription fee? Has it really frustrated you? Are you an owner of this and are you just annoyed that that sort of thing now exists? Let us know. Be really interested to know your thoughts. In the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button. Come along for some more cloud gaming content in the future, and we'll see you soon. Bye.